So unfortunately, this is me having to shoot this again because even though my microphone was plugged in, for some reason, didn't register the audio. So when I went to edit this video, there was no saving it. Got to refilm it. So I actually already sprayed these, already rolling with them. I'll give you guys a brief rundown of what I think. We'll start with Guess Seductive Homme Red because this was the surprising, never seen before find. This came out in 2021. I actually already pulled up the notes in the previous attempt at recording this. It's got lemon zest. It's got cinnamon spice. This sandalwood is very pronounced early on. It's a very familiar fragrance, a little bit of kumquat. It's an interesting note breakdown. The geranium stands out, gives a little bit of a minty, bright feel to the fragrance. It's very familiar, but I cannot pinpoint what it smells like. I still have it on my hand. I ended up spraying it as my scent of the day. I have 5 sprays around my neck. Technically 3 and then a half spray on each side again. I'll be posting my scent of the day picture for this as well. I really dig this. For 12 bucks for a 30 ml, this is actually a really solid fragrance. I'm not necessarily blown away or anything, but I'm pretty impressed. It's not too bad. Guess seems to never really disappoint me with their fragrances. The other 2 that I have in this line, Guess Seductive Homme Blue, kind of like La Nuit de l'Homme. And then Guess Seductive Homme Noir, kind of like 1 million-ish. A little bit spicier than that. This, you get a little bit of a warm ambery, patchouli-ish type of feel, like a little bit of darkness. Not much of an earthy tone, but it's more this sandalwood note that does stand out. I do get a lot of this sandalwood note. Cinnamon's kind of there, but doesn't jump in your face like a big bomb of cinnamon. And then all that fruitiness, the lemon and the kumquat. I would have never guessed that's what it was because of the way it smells, but there is an inherent fruitiness to this fragrance, and it's quite lovely. So I'm digging this one. And then in regards to Polo Double Black, this is the scent of the early to mid 2000s. This is super nostalgic. Beautiful mango fruitiness. It's aromatic. It's a little dark, spicy. A little bit of an earthy tone. There's a muskiness to this. Aromatics and musk. This smells like 2007 in a bottle. It's basically what it smells like to me. Its heyday is past, but for those of you that have fond memories of those years, this is a walk down memory lane. I think of brands like Fat Farm and Rockaware and Marc Echo, for example, when I smell fragrances like this, because that was the heyday for those brands. I mean, I had the Fat Farms that looked like their version of Adidas shell toes with the fat red laces and everything. I had a Rockaware hat with the big metal Rockaware R with the stones in it. That hat was expensive too. That was like a $60 hat back then. It's a product of its time, and I think of other products of that time. 35 bucks for a 75 ml is actually a little bit better than I recall seeing it on eBay. I've been debating on getting it because it's been a very long time since I've smelled this, and I love it just as much as the last time I sprayed that little bottle that I used to have. I could see how this is dated in some ways and needs to stay in its time frame for some people, but it's one of those nostalgic fragrances for me for its time frame. I have a ton of nostalgic 90s fragrances, but this is one of the few that makes me think of my early 20s for sure. This is some good stuff right here. Let's give these fragrances some ratings. So very surprised by Guess Seductive Homme Noir. I actually think it's very good. This one's a 7 out of 10 for me. I'm not saying it's the end-all be-all and it's super amazing or anything, but it's pleasant. These Guess fragrances never seem to really disappoint. They're very much bang for your buck. Performance, I'm sure, is nothing spectacular here, but the scent profile is nice. It doesn't smell too cheap and synthetic. And 12 bucks for a 30 ml, I mean, I'll try any fragrance for 12 bucks for a 30 ml, you know? This one just ended up working out. And then this is going to be a nostalgia rating for Polo Double Black. Some of you may not feel this way. It's very nostalgic for me. It makes me happy to smell this fragrance. I think it's great at an 8 out of 10. That rating may be too high for some of you. Might even be too low for some of you, because there's people that I'm sure really have a fondness with this scent profile. I do as well. I think it's very much enjoyable. I can't wait to wear this one. Had I smelled this one before Guess Seductive Homme Red, I probably would have sprayed this on as my scent of the day, but I will be wearing this in the next upcoming days. Well, luckily, I can see the feedback this time. I made sure to make sure the mic was working before recording this again, but very happy with these pickups. absolutely happy with these pickups. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you have fond memories of Polo Double Black, and how many of you have yet to try this or have tried this? What do you think of it? Have you seen it out at the rack stores? Have you been debating on grabbing it? I gotta say, it's not too shabby of a dice roll for 12 bucks. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on either one, you give them a spray now, might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.